Hello, everyone. How are you doing? How's everything? This is Daryl Guberman. I'm going to be staying away from the placards right now. We'll be exposing that later, but we have this video to do. The title is QA expert Daryl Guberman unveils alarming trends in Boeing CEO compensation and quality oversight practices post 9/11. In a groundbreaking revelation, quality assurance expert Daryl Guberman has exposed the correlation between Boeing's declining oversight practices and the dramatic rise in CEO compensation over the past 2 decades. Using data from critical analysis, Guberman highlights how regulatory changes following the events of 9/11 have not only shifted the quality assurance landscape, but also benefited top executives at the expense of workers and safety standards. In April 2002, Boeing adopted NADCAP, National Aerospace Defense Contractors Accreditation Program. This was put together by a combination of Boeing and Performance Review Institute, followed by the Supplier Bulletin, July 2002, which effectively relinquished the company's on-site supplier audits. By 2003, the implementation of Heads Up 22 and the mandatory OASIS database, which is the Online Aerospace Systems Information System database, further cemented Boeing's reliance on external standards often enforced by ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, and its combination, the American National Accrediting Board, where ANSI joined forces with ANAB to own ANAB 100%. The OASIS database, the Online Aerospace Systems Information System, is a repository for AS9100 certified organizations that state 4.2 states that if a AS9100 certified company refuses to be put on the OASIS database, they take your cert away. If they refuse, AS9100 refuses to pay database fees, they take the cert away. Is there anything about quality? No way. That OASIS is run by the International Aerospace Quality Group, IAQG, which also sits as a member of ANSI ANAB. The most critical shift in 2009 when the FAA delegated regulatory authority to Boeing, allowing the company to self-certify its aircraft and control defect reporting. The unprecedented move effectively gave Boeing's CEO oversight power akin to the FAA administrator, ensuring the company received defect data before it reached federal regulators. The graph attached to this press release, and I have it, I'm going to show it to you. The graph attached to this release illustrates a stark reality. While Boeing cut costs by reducing supplier inspections and consolidating power, CEO compensation soared. The data shows a steady and sharp rise in executive bonuses and salaries beginning in 2002, with the trend accelerating dramatically after 2009 FAA designation. The CEOs of Boeing have enjoyed immense financial gain while circumventing critical quality assurance practices. And this is not just, and I'm telling you, this is not just corporate governance failure. It is a systematic issue that puts safety of passengers and the integrity of the aviation industry at risk. These actions are not addressed by media or regulators. When I held up those two pieces of paper at the Senate subcommittee meeting here, okay, with Sam Salapar over here, the whistleblower for the Boeing 777-787, those two pieces of paper show that Boeing relinquished on-site auditing, and the words that they use in the NADCAP or Special Processes memo, and also the Supplier Bulletin, if need be or need arises. Those were the words that they use. If need be or need arises. What the fuck does that mean? By the way, I could say that because the new CEO at Spirit Aerospace Systems, Patrick Shanahan, basically said, when asked, because of jealousy more than likely, when he was Deputy Secretary of Defense under Donald Trump the first time, I'm sure jealousy, maybe it was a Lockheed lobbyist, was seeing Patrick Shanahan rubbing his shoulders with the guy, the colonel or whatever, who appropriated funding for new jets and all that. So they figured that they might lose some contracts due to this ex-Boeing employee now working in that special area of being the Deputy Secretary of Defense. They called him into an inquisition, and they asked him, they said, what do you think about the F-35 program? He said, it's fucked up. Okay? That's what people, it's worse than fucked up. They're still producing them with rejects. What happened to continuous improvement and quality? They should fire Jim Tassett. Oh, mamma mia. So, the CEOs of Boeing have enjoyed immense financial gains while circumventing critical quality assurance practices. This is not just a corporate governance failure. It is a systematic issue that puts the safety of passengers and the integrity of the aviation industry at risk. These actions were not addressed by media regulators, leaving dangerous gap in accountability. I also point out to focus compliance with the OASIS database, which penalizes organizations that refuse to join or pay fees. The database, which was developed under the guidance of ANSI-ANAP, requires organizations to comply or risk losing their AS 9100 certification, an essential standard in aerospace and manufacturing mandated by Boeing. And I just wanted to leave it here because, and I'm going to show you this. This is the actual chart you see right over here, starting at 2001. 2001, after 9/11, well, I'll show it to you in a booklet. It's better that way. This way you can understand it better, and I can go through it. Okay. Okay, right at the end. 2000, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this first. This shows the compensation from 2001 when 9/11 happened. Then 2002, it goes up. Then you jump over 2003, and then you go to 2009. And after 2009, it went like gangbusters. Do you see how this went up over here? Like gangbusters with compensation. The yellow line is IM 751's pay. Isn't that nice? So here's the actual article that shows you that Boeing was going to lay off 20 to 30,000 employees. In September 2019, they started to do that, from what I gathered, going through 2002. The next thing I'm going to show you is this. This is the supplier notification for NADCAP, okay? NADCAP, which I told you what it meant. It is the National Aerospace and Defense Contractors Accreditation Program. It basically says in here, okay, Boeing will augment NADCAP audits with additional assessments as the need arises. What the hell does that mean, need arises? When the plane goes down, of course. Also, they say over here that by checking the box, it acknowledges by not obtaining accreditation, your company will no longer be in the Boeing list of approved suppliers. So what they want to do is they want to get the AS9100 certs in board. They wanted the NADCAP. So that all Boeing has to do, or Lockheed or any of them, even Airbus, look on the computer, oh, they're ISO cert, they're AS9100, ANSI-ANAP, oh, they're good. Send us your parts, send us your certs, send your parts, we don't have to come visit. So even it took a blanket across the aerospace industry as a quality is going to fail because of that. A paper doesn't prove that they've got a quality system. And then you have the supplier bulletin. The NADCAP was in April. Supplier bulletin was in July of 2002. And this is what this says. You just can't. On-site Boeing audits of suppliers, on-site Boeing audits of suppliers' quality system, if need be. What does that mean? Our preference is to deal with proven suppliers with excellent quality performance and not have to do on-site quality system audits. Can you imagine that mess? That's really a mess. But let's go back over here, see if I have it. I know I have this. Here it is, right here. This is Heads Up, okay, the 22. I've got a copy. You can't find that on the internet. They took that down too. But if you read that, there it is. You can't refuse to be not put on the OASIS database. You can't refuse to be paid, to not pay the database fees. Is there something wrong with that? Ladies and gentlemen, business owners, you've seen the chart here. The chart does not lie. Once they got rid of inspection and all the rest of that, the CEOs, it was a boon for them. 203-556-1493. I thank you.